Finally, we made it. So in this video, I really want to talk about two things. But first, let me take the mask off. Wait, is it safe? Just kidding. So I want to talk about two things. First of all, about the situation in Shanghai, since I'm living in Shanghai and basically the outbreak was in China. So I'll give you a little bit of an overview about the status quo. And secondly, what are some of my learnings from that, And so if you're sitting in the USA or you're in Europe, where right now, the outbreak or the numbers are increasing of people that are infected, then maybe you can learn something from it. So I flew to China around 1 month ago, I think, and before that I was in Germany. When I left, there was literally no cases of coronavirus in Germany, and then I flew to China. Obviously, the most dangerous thing is the flight, right? Because you have so many people crammed up in such a little, tiny plane. So that, I wasn't really nervous about it, but I was aware of the fact that this is probably the highest risk factor, So, you had some people wearing hilarious protection measures in the plane and looking quite funny. But overall, nothing special. Of course, then you had controls at the airport, and the Chinese, by that time, 1 month ago, they were already quite organized, super strict and structured about how to, avoid further outbreak of this virus. So I guess that was handled quite professionally at this point. And then I arrived here, and to be honest, since 1 month, every week it keeps getting better and better. So there's one shot from my apartment where I'm recording the streets below. You see there's cars everywhere, right? There was a couple of weeks ago, there was videos being published about China and many cities looking like ghost towns. That's not the case anymore. Many people on the streets, when the sunshine is out like today and it's beautiful, then there's just so many people, everybody's around and outside and, walking their dogs and whatever, going to shopping malls. Of course, you still have a lot of protection measures, right? So we all wear masks at every building, literally every building. Your temperature is being measured. You are asked to show a QR code that basically is gathers different data, and if you are a person that is at risk of having the coronavirus, then it will be orange or even red, and if you're fine, then it will be a green QR code, and you show that at every entrance, to prove that, okay, I'm fine, haven't been in touch with people at risk, haven't been to strange countries in the last 14 days, etc. So as you have seen, things are getting more and more back to normal, I would say. So of course, every day I drive to work. I do that with my scooter, and people are outside, they are going to work. Not many firms do home office anymore, and the situation generally is improving. So just take a look at this short clip of me going to work in the morning.
What you're doing now, it's the fastest way to get yourself killed. I need to clear her name. I owe her that much.
Now, obviously at work, things are still heavily impacted, right? So many small firms, many startups, SMEs take a hit. It's not easy for them to survive. Liquidity is a big problem. And for us, we are right now doing fine, but it's difficult, man. Like, everybody's in crisis mode. For our business model, bringing startups from abroad to China and investing in them, of course, that's super difficult, right? Because like nobody literally right now wants to take a plane, come to China. And right now everybody is in crisis mode, right? I mean, Europe is going down, the US is going down, so nobody thinks about that. Plus we do consulting work, so we consult big corporates, multinational corporates on their innovation strategies. And I mean, the first thing these companies cut when crisis strikes is their consulting budgets. So it's difficult, but in China what we do, for example, is we also consult government clients, okay? So state and government clients, and these clients, they do have money. I mean, they also have different things to worry about right now, but there's opportunities there, right? So how does it work at work? Over like 1 month ago, we stopped home office. So up until that point, somewhere in end of February, everybody was working from home. And then we stopped that and we started working from the office again. And actually it works quite well. So we operate multiple co-working spaces, right? That means we have enough space for everybody to not be crammed up in a tiny office. Everybody takes whatever space he wants, and makes sure to have some distance to other people. We wear masks. We wash our hands regularly. Everybody has these small spray cans, with disinfectants. So just, a couple of cautionary measures. You see, I'm touching my face all the time, but I literally sprayed disinfectant on them like probably 5 minutes ago before recording this video. And in my opinion, that's quite practical. Plus, when you wear the mask, of course, you're kind of reminded and prevented from touching your face automatically. Well then, and a couple of other things. So all the people, we always have fruits here and things like that. So all in all, I guess it's manageable. The thing is, business is being hit. In the short term, definitely, like, we all take a hit. Q1 and Q2 is totally going to suck, and Q3 is probably also not going to be that nice. But hopefully, I'm very optimistic that in the long term this will not affect China, and will hopefully also not affect the world too much. Now, one thing I see is that talking to my friends, to my family in Germany right now, that's where the action is, right? I mean, Italy, totally, like, not funny to be there. Germany also, more and more cases of coronavirus. So it seems like, the coronavirus has had a nice journey and has now arrived in Europe and is now ready to start, spreading. So the question for me is how Europe is going to handle that. In the past, Europe has, or let's say Europe over the last couple of years has horribly underperformed, in my opinion. That's one of the reasons I'm sitting here and not in Germany anymore, because democracy to some extent has failed. It's just super slow, and in the current form, it was not able to deliver actionable results. And I do think democracy is the thing to have. I'm a big believer in democracy. In fact, I'm a big believer in Europe too. I just think we need to adjust a couple of things there, because in the past it just didn't work out too well with everything that happened in Europe over the past couple of years. So I'm very much excited about how this will go down in Europe. I hope people will unite and people will find a common path forward to fight this virus outbreak. Because here in China it's easy. I mean, it's authoritarian capitalism, and to be honest, it works quite well, right? I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, and totally there's also cons to the China model. And in my opinion, for each country at each time, there's a right thing. Okay, so this right now is the right thing for China. It probably wouldn't be the right thing for Germany at this point. But what I want to say is, here in China, they just, I mean, from today to tomorrow, they can decide, okay, we're going to do this for the whole freaking country, let's go, you know, and then it's executed mercilessly. And that's great for situations like this, right? I mean, they are able to contain stuff like that. Anyways, let's see how that goes down. I have no idea. And I'm also not the type of person to worry about that too much, because anyways, you can't do anything about it. And that brings us to my recommendations or my advice from this whole thing. First of all, crisis has been happening in humanity forever, you know? So let's not lose our minds. So far, we have always survived. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're like, what, like 18 to 20, 28, 29 is my demographic. So you're freaking young, man. There's literally no risk at all that something will happen to you. So, you know, stay calm, first of all. Next piece of advice, don't read too many news. Seriously, it's no good at all. There's no need for a live ticker on coronavirus cases. What's that going to do with you? I mean, it just makes you crazy and makes you unfocused, to be honest. I mean, I would like my mind to be focused on productive things and not on some horror scenarios or whatever that I can't act upon anyways, right? So, I mean, it's okay to check the news once or every second day, but don't get into this panic mode where you're checking the news, getting notifications every 5 minutes. It doesn't serve any purpose. Third piece of advice, chances are now you're going to work from the home office, okay? So, first of all, download tools like toggle.io. Those are time trackers. They're tracking whatever the hell you are doing over the day, and after some time you will get a pretty good picture of whether you are browsing YouTube 5 hours per day or whether you're actually productive in your home office. Have frequent phone calls with your team members. If you're leading a team, have a phone call. I would suggest at least once per day to get the team together and have some sense of companionship and unity. And thirdly, make sure to develop routines. Okay, now's the time to do it. It's even more important when you work from home. Okay, so have a morning routine, have a proper office routine, how you get stuff and work done, and then have a nice evening routine to calm down and settle into sleep. What else? They say mens sana in corpore sano. That means healthy mind in a healthy body. So even in situations like this, don't stop working out. You know, either start working out at home or go outside to, you know, parks that are accessible, do stuff on the street. You don't have to go to the crowded gyms, or probably they are already closed. I don't know. Different from country to country. So I, for example, got into calisthenics a little bit. I mean, it's fun, but I also kept working and still keep working at my Muay Thai training. And lastly, adjust your mindset. In crisis, there is opportunity, all right? So now either you are one of the sheep, you know, running all into one direction, no idea what's going on, but somebody said, oh, there's a wolf coming from one direction, everybody's running, or you are the lion, confronting the wolf, going your path wherever you want to go. So right now is the time to buy stocks, look into the crypto market, whether there's opportunities there. Buy businesses or companies, you know, depending on your maturity and where you are right now. Start a business. There's many needs right now. Also, if you have been looking to do something on social media, then this is also the time. Everybody's sitting at home and watching videos. I mean, I see that with my view rates, they have gone up. So, you know, keep that in mind. In crisis, there's opportunity, and now's the time for you to act upon them. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and you know, remember to stay safe. Bye bye.